Racewatch 12 with Cade Heidemann is brought to you by Builder Service and Menke GMC Mazda.
Last year it was made abundantly clear that there is no greater enemy to NASCAR than the weather. But with all the rainouts last year was plagued with, at least it didn't occur on week 0. This year, the 2024 Clash at the Coliseum, the very first race on the NASCAR schedule, was affected by the weather. Sunday, February 4th was meant to be the day of the Clash. However, also on Sunday, the entire state of California was to be overtaken by an atmospheric river, creating excessive rainfall that would certainly cancel any activities on Sunday and likely well into next week. NASCAR had a choice to make. The weather was clear on Saturday, and with no end to the future rainy conditions likely anytime soon, the sanctioning body made the call. The Clash would be held Saturday night on a much tighter schedule. Unlike the other Coliseum races that included practice, qualifying, heat races, the last chance qualifier, and then the Clash, locking into the Clash went like this. The field was split into 3 groups of 12. Each group would get 3 rounds of practice, with the last being their actual qualifying laps. The final practice session would have groups split in half again, allowing only 6 cars on the track at a time, with 4 minutes to post their best lap. The top 22 cars of this final session are locked into the Clash, with one driver who did not make speed will advance based on their 2023 points finish, and then the rest are sent home. Chase Briscoe took the pole early with a time of 13:48. He would be the only one to advance to the Clash out of this group. The next 6 came through, and Joey Logano steals the pole with a time of 13:25. That time would stand through the following session, but the one after, Denny Hamlin takes the top spot with a time of 13:13. From this point forward, no one would be able to top Hamlin's time, and he will start out front for the Clash. Out of those 22, some big names did not make the main event, notably Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher, and last year's Final Four competitor Christopher Bell. Also interesting to note, last year's Cup champion Ryan Blaney also did not make the field on speed. However, he will make the field thanks to his points finish last year. On to the Clash itself. The front row of Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano dueled it out early to decide who would lead the pack. Logano looked to have Hamlin clear, but he would miss the corner in turn 1 and give the inside right back to Denny, who takes the top spot. Lap 49, after leading most of the race thus far, Denny gets sent to the outside line while his teammate Ty Gibbs takes him on the inside. 20 laps later, just when Ty is hitting a stride and putting some distance on, the first caution of the night comes out for Todd Gilliland. On the restart, Gibbs has the inside, but is instantly bumped by Kyle Busch behind him, allowing Joey Logano to retake on the outside. And with Ty unable to get back to the inside, Busch is also able to get by the 54. A few restarts later, and the lead changes once more, as Ty Gibbs is able to get the advantage over Joey Logano when another caution comes out, this time for Ross Chastain. He'll be able to restart on the inside now, where he clears Logano and starts pulling away. By 30 to go, Gibbs has 2 seconds over Logano, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the lapped cars in between Gibbs and Logano is what's making all the difference. The race won't stay green all the way through when at 10 to go, Michael McDowell gets spun. The restart here begins as a battle between Gibbs and Logano, but in a matter of a second, it all changes when Gibbs checks Logano up high, leaving his inside open for an opportunistic Denny Hamlin to try and capitalize, making the most of his run and overtaking Gibbs. 8 laps later, just as the white flag is about to wave for Denny, Ty Gibbs gets turned and the yellow is thrown instead. Overtime now, Hamlin is once again able to get a good launch on second place, and he's able to defend that spot long enough to bring it around one final time and win the Clash at the Coliseum. For Racewatch 12, I'm Cade Heidemann.